Hey, it's Kenny. It's time to go camping. I just pulled out on the road. I'm headed camping down south. I'm going to go camping at Tugman State Park by Eel Lake near Lakeside, Oregon. Had a little bit of an issue before I left the house. Something I'm going to have to deal with. Had some problems with the tongue jack on my trailer, but we'll get it all worked out and fixed here in a few days. Anyway, come along with me. We're going camping! Yeah!
We are headed to Highway 101 going south. Here we are at Tugman State Park. Turned off of Highway 101. I've camped here quite a few times before. This is a fairly large campground. I'm not sure how many spaces there are in here, but we are in Loop C. Specifically C18 is my camp spot. We are all set up and ready to camp. I was a little bit concerned about the jack coming out the bottom of the tube, so I put a bungee cord on it. Yeah, it's broken! So I went to Harbor Freight in Coos Bay and to see what they have, and they had just something that I would use. I'm going to upgrade to an electric jack. Yeah! All fixed. Yep, time to relax a bit. Well, it was time to get out, drive around a little bit and do some exploring around the area. Oh, I've been to these other places quite a few times in the past, but it's always fun to visit again, so I went down to Winchester Bay. It's a salmon harbor, a place where they used to go salmon fishing a lot. Well, I guess they probably still do, but it's not like it was back in the late 50s and 60s when I was a kid and went fishing out there with my parents. It was great. We used to camp there at Winchester Bay, and actually Winchester Bay is a pretty nice place. It's where the Umpqua River comes out into the Pacific Ocean. There used to be a whole bunch of charter boats down here. They were all parked along this dock, and there's a boat launch there, and this is actually where my parents used to launch their boat, and this is what we went out into the ocean in, this little tiny fiberglass boat. Probably a little scary, but you know, hey, we caught lots of salmon out there. I did a little bit of geocaching down here. There was a geocache I hadn't found before. It was a little bit tricky, but I did come up with a find. There's a nice little day use area down here. There is a big pier that goes out into the Umpqua River where you can go crabbing. And so I thought I'd stop here for a few moments and take a look at the bay. That is the way out to the Pacific Ocean. There used to be hundreds of boats go out there, and we caught lots of salmon. Lots of salmon. We had a great time. Salmon is one of my favorite fish. Well, on Highway 101 they've been doing a lot of bridge maintenance and repairs up and down the highway the last few years. This is a bridge over Tackenich Creek. I have a geocache that's here, and it wasn't a guardrail that's no longer there. I'm trying to hang on to it until they get this construction finished and I can re-enable it. We shall see what happens. Well, I had a good day out driving around doing some exploring, but I'm returning back to my campsite. Gonna relax for a while. Have some neighbors that are next to me here. We're gonna sit by the fire and enjoy the evening. Here are the lights inside of my trailer. A little bit of ambiance. Well, good night, and good night to you all, and see you in the morning. Well, it's a lovely morning. Thought I'd go for a walk down to Eel Lake. Tugman State Park is right on Eel Lake, the day use area. The campground's just down the road. And so you can just go for a walk out here. I thought I'd go out here. There's all kinds of amenities if you want to do picnicking and all that good stuff. Today I thought I'd go for a drive up north and do some geocache maintenance on some of my geocaches. Some people left notes saying it needs maintenance, I can't find it, log's wet, and all that kind of stuff. So I thought I'd stop at a few of mine and see what's going on with them and if I can fix them or not. Oh man, this place here has turned into a dump. People leave their crap laying all over the place. A couple people said they could not find this one, and so I went to look for it, see if I could find it. If I could find it, I had brought a new container that I was going to place here if I needed to. I could not find it. I looked everywhere, looked in places where I'm pretty sure that it wasn't supposed to be, but you know, I don't know. Then I finally decided, after this geocache had had a pretty good run, I actually had been several different renditions of it, and there was so much trash appearing here, and I didn't want to pick all that up, so I decided to archive this one and move on to the next that needed maintenance. This next geocache is part of a geo art that I created a few years ago. Looks like a big question mark. There's a whole bunch of puzzles. I think there's like 18 separate puzzles, geocache listings you have to solve to be able to find all of them. But the last few people that looked for this one particular one, they did not find it. So I thought I'd come up here, bring another new container, and look for this one and see if I could find it. So I looked around for quite a while. I did not come up with anything, so placed a new container there for the next person that solves the puzzle and decides to come up here and find this one. This next geocache is along a very, very scenic part of Highway 101 on the Oregon coast. This particular tunnel here has an approach as you go over a big long bridge before you go in the tunnel. It's pretty cool. It's along a big cliff along the Pacific Ocean. It's very beautiful here. A lot of people stop at these pullouts and take pictures and all kinds of good stuff. But I have a geocache here, and the last person to look for it, of course, can't find it. So I got to check on it, see if I could find it, which I didn't, and I placed a new one. Here we are near Sutton Creek, Sutton Campground, which I've camped at quite a few times in the past. This is a geocache that the last person that found it said the container was broken, and so I thought I'd bring a brand new fresh container out here, walk out this trail. It's beautiful out here. See if I can find this one. I couldn't find the old broken container, but I did leave the new one. It's all ready for the next person to find whenever they come out here and look for it. Good to go. Heading back south, I stopped at this myrtle wood factory. I've gone by here hundreds of times, and I've never stopped here, so I thought I'd stop and go in and check out the souvenir store, see what they got in. I went in here, and there's, of course, lots and lots of myrtle wood. I don't know, just tons of stuff here. So I bought a sticker, and while I was in there, there was this cat that was walking around, and I petted it. And when I went to the counter to buy the sticker, the cat was up on top of the counter, and I asked the people, well, what's the name of the cat? Myrtle. Well, of course. I have this foam board in the trailer that I put stickers on, my souvenirs. I had a nice evening around the fire with my friends. Today we are going for a nice drive up the Smith River Road along the Smith River. Got to get those bugs off the window so you guys can see clearly. Smith River is a nice river that dumps into the Umpqua, which goes into the Pacific Ocean. Oh dear, there are logging trucks up here. This road that I'm going to be on is, there's another one, is, well, it's a two-lane road to begin with, but then it narrows, turns into a one-lane road. You know, you don't want to, it's still paved, but you don't want to meet those logging trucks on this little narrow road, so I hope I don't see any more. There's a country store and tavern right up here. I always thought I should stop. Today I just kept going. One of these days I'm going to stop there and check that place out. Looks pretty cool. Well, you can see the road just keeps getting a little narrower and narrower. I felt pretty good so far. I haven't met any log trucks. Actually, I haven't hardly met anybody, but came on this bit of maintenance crew. They were trimming up some brush trees along the side of the road. That was pretty cool. Got to keep the area neat and tidy. Stuff in Oregon just keeps growing and growing. It's very beautiful up here, very scenic. It's a nice drive. I love these drives on these back roads. There are a few people living up here, little farms and stuff. It's pretty cool. Even so, there's always people in a big hurry. That guy just passed. Not sure if there's an actual speed limit on this road, but usually I don't go much faster than about 30 miles an hour. I stopped at a few campgrounds along the way to check them out. These are Forest Service campgrounds, this one here. It's not very big, the sites are pretty short, but it is a lovely place. It's right along the Smith River. Very beautiful. There were a few people camped here. I don't know, maybe someday I'll give it a shot, but you know, my trailer is like 19 feet long, and so these little short spots, it's a little tough to get into them. Maybe someday we'll give it a try. Yep, beautiful Oregon forest. Oh, there's somebody else that's in a big hurry. Let them by. Now here's a private campground. I've checked this out once before. I thought I'd stop here again today and do a little quick drive through. It's actually pretty big. It's got quite a few sites, and they're actually, most of them are right along the Smith River. It's a beautiful little area here. Unfortunately, there's no cell phone coverage up here. They don't have any electricity at the sites. There's no water hookups or anything. And for me, I don't know, their prices were a little too high, but maybe someday I'll give it a shot. Unfortunately, for them, there was nobody camping here today. Farther on up the road, I stopped at another Forest Service campground, Vincent Creek. This one's even smaller than that other Forest Service campground I stopped at. I don't know if well, there's some pretty big rigs here, but I don't know if I could get my trailer in here safely and easily or whatever. But this one was full, even though there wasn't very many spots. I'm sure these people are enjoying this very much. It's such a lovely place up here. Time to head on down the road. Still no logging trucks. I'm getting lucky. Then the road got a little bit narrower, and I came up on a sign and a Y in the road, you know. When you come to a Y, take it. So I made sure I knew where I was before I took either the left or the right. I wasn't sure. So it was nice to have that sign with a map on it. It is a narrow road. You know, if you meet somebody, well, I guess I am meeting somebody, but they found a wide spot to turn off for me to get by. That was nice of them. There was a few little bumpy spots in the road, but all in all, this was an easy road to drive on. Anybody could do this one. Aha, another sign. I'm not sure if this actually shows where we are on the map. I think I'm somewhere right here. That's what I'm guessing. Which means we're close to Highway 38. We will be leaving the wilderness area soon. It wasn't long till I came out to Highway 38. This is Wells Creek. It's not too far from a little town called Scottsburg, which is one of the oldest towns in Oregon. They're building a brand new bridge there. They tore down the old metal one. So this has got a nice new big concrete bridge. Time for some more time around the fire pit. My wife joined me for a few days. We did a little bit of exploring. Had dinner one day at the Del Sol restaurant. It's a lovely place to eat. We love eating there. Great food. And we checked out a few places along the way. A little visit to here and a little visit to there. Peggy's car needed a wash, so we went through the car wash. That's always a fun trip. It was a good time. Well, thanks for watching my camping and exploring video on the Oregon coast. I will see you in the next video. May God bless your family and friends.